Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, live at 9. How's everybody doing? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Hello, Instagram. How are y'all doing? Hello, Facebook. Hello, Periscope. Hello, Twitter. Y'all come on in. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Did everybody have an incredible day today? We had a great time at our church today. Did everybody have a great day at their church? Did y'all go to church? How was y'all's Thanksgiving? Come on in, share with your followers, share with your followers. Come on in and share with your followers. I got a good word for you tonight. It's going to be a great, y'all, December 2nd. Through Christmas. It's going to be the best. I'm telling you, it's going to be the best year, the best of the whole year. I just feel it. I'm just prophesying that over you right now, over your family. I'm telling you, you might have gone through a hard 2019, but God is about to shift some things in your favor. And so I'm excited that you are on here with me. Y'all go ahead and share with your followers. Tell me where y'all are coming in from. Where's everybody coming in from? Y'all know that we started my mentorship program started, and y'all can sign up at any time. You just go to innercircle.realtalkkim.com. This whole month, we are going to be talking about restoration, restitution, getting our mentality changed, because sometimes when we've gone through some things for so long in our life, we all of a sudden think wrong. We think like that we never gonna get out of this. We're gonna always be here. And all of a sudden you have gotten this little bitty molehill turn into a mountain. And some of y'all, I even told my church this today, that some of us have been in that place where we are so used to chaos and confusion and things like that, that in the next 30 days that God is going to give you clarity in some situations. And he's already taken some situations. He's taken care of some situations. And so don't look in the natural the way things look right now. Look in the supernatural, because God is moving in the supernatural. So y'all come on in. I see you, Virginia. I see y'all. I see you, Louisiana. I see you, DC. I see you, West Point, Mississippi. I used to live in, hey, Nancy Cook. I used to walk around with Nancy Cook's little boy on my hip when I was like 6 years old. I sure did. Nebraska, Seven Springs, Chicago. Yes. Y'all know we started our fast today. Anybody on here doing the fast with us? Florida, Maine, New York. I see you. Kansas. I'll be back in New York on the 12th of December at Holtzville, New York at Jesus is Lord Church. I will be in Dothan, Alabama, this coming Saturday. So make sure that y'all, the details are on my website, realtalkkim.com. It's going to be at the Sterling Center in Dothan, Alabama. And it's going to be awesome. So get your butt there on Saturday. It's from 9 to 11. And so it's going to be Dothan, Alabama. And it's going to be at the Sterling Center from 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock this coming Saturday. And I'm excited because I'm going to be at my church the whole month of December. So make sure that you are getting in the building. So we started our fast today. I'm letting people come on in. I'm going to tell you about it. We started our fast today. I asked all of my social media, my church family, my inner circle, I asked for you to join this fast. I believe that in order to get God to move some things in your life, sometimes we got to kill our flesh, right? And so I know thousands of people have started the fast with us today. And so you can do a fast any way you want. Like I just see right here, Sophia is fasting from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Basically, we are going from December the 1st through December the 7th, from the 1st through December the 7th. And if you want to fast social media, let me just narrow this down for you. When you fast social media, you're fasting fasting just useless scrolling, right? You're wasting your time on social media. You're not really getting anything out of it. You can come on for live at 9. Anything, social media, anything that is helping you grow. You can also do the YouVersion app. You can also be on YouTube, listen to preaching. So during the fast, the purpose of the fast is, let's see, I wrote some things down. The purpose of the fast is for greater anointing in 2020. The fast is also for if you've got a heartbreak you've been holding on to and you need to break some soul ties off of you, you need to break some generational curses off of you, then this fast is for you. If you've just felt stuck, in life, fasting is for you. You know, I talked today about Esther and how when Esther was brought in to be the queen, that favor that she brought onto the Jews. And even when I was reading the Esther over and over this morning, preparing for my sermon, and last night preparing for my sermon, I realized that she said that she was going into the inner courts with her husband. She wasn't supposed to be with him for a whole nother year, because back in those days, they called upon you every year or so, right? And so she wasn't supposed to be with the king until another year, but she had to go in there in order to get favor for the Jews, right? So Mordecai, her uncle, said, you got to get in there. If you don't go in there and somehow find favor, all the Jews are going to die. And so basically what she did was she called a fast for 3 days. She called a fast. And during that 3 days of that fast, God shifted it in such a way that when she went into the inner courts, when she wasn't even invited to come in, she went into the inner courts. She literally had so much favor with him that king said, and he wasn't known to be like this. He said, whatever is mine, half is yours. And so that's what a fast does. A fast moves mountains. A fast kills your flesh. A fast is when you want something so desperately in your life that you will do whatever you got to do to kill your flesh and get your tail. Like even today in our inner circle, I've already been over in our inner circle on live with them today, just keeping them pumped up because so many people are fasting, are breaking cigarette addiction during this thing. People are fasting all kinds of things that have held them hostage during this thing. They fasting emotional eating. They're fasting porn addiction. They're breaking this mess off of them because they are sick and tired of being ruled by something that is not producing anything but sickness and doubt, right? And so I'm fasting everything. I'm not eating a morsel of food. I've been gearing up for this thing for the last 7 days. I fast and then eat, and then I fast today, then I eat, and I eat very lightly, getting geared up because I'm not just fasting for my church and for my family, but I'm fasting for you. And so I'm fasting for your family. And so I don't take it lightly that God allows us to be connected right here on social media. And I don't take it lightly. I know that every person that's in this room is here by divine appointment. And so I'm believing God for more oil for you. I'm believing God that all chemical dependencies are broken in the name of Jesus for you. I'm believing for your marriages. I'm believing for your financial favor to come on your life, that y'all are not walking into 2020 with your money being funny, where you're working 3 and 4 jobs and you still can't pay your bills, right? I'm believing that you are going to get some clarity in your mind. I believe that some situations that you've been praying about, you've had so much chatter and clutter going on in your mind that you haven't been able to hear God properly. And I'm believing during the 1st through the 7th of this fast, you're going to have some clarity in your mind like you ain't never had. I'm believing God that he's going to break anger off of you. I'm believing God that he's going to break that sexual addiction off of you. I'm believing God that he's going to allow you to see that you are worth more than being a side chick or having affairs. I'm believing God that he is going to do a work on the inside of you that's even going to take shame away from situations that happen in your lifetime. I'm believing God that he's about to give you some spiritual amnesia in some areas of your life where you have felt stuck, some spiritual amnesia from that molestation that happened to you at 4 years old, and you're over here stuck and can't even be loved appropriately because you are over here still stuck in yesteryears. I'm believing God that he's about to bring revival into your house. I'm believing God that he is about to give you literally healing from dad issues, from mama issues, from church issues. I'm believing God that he's going to give you the courage to step into your next season. He is going to give you the courage to start that company, to start that t-shirt company, to start that cosmetology company, company, to start that business, to write that book. He is about to give you extreme clarity. That's what I'm believing God for. And I am standing in the gap for you. I'm believing God for fresh oil, man. I'm believing God that you ain't going to be reaching for codependent relationships after these 7 days. I'm believing God that some of you been in abusive relationships and won't get out of those abusive relationships because you're afraid of being alone. I'm believing God that he's about to give you peace. So you realize that you don't have to live in peace, but you can live in peace through Jesus. And so I'm believing God just a straight up from the top of our head to the soles of our feet renovation. We are going to have a renovation. And I even heard today for my church when I was up there, execution. God is about to give us we're going to start executing in this next month. God is about to give us courage to execute. I got a prophetic word yesterday from a pastor friend that I highly admire. And in that word, I got actually 2 prophetic words yesterday, and both of the prophetic words, and this is what I'm believing God for. I'm believing God to hear clearly. I'm believing that you are going to hear clearly. And I'm believing that you're going to get text just like I got for confirmation of what God's already told you. I'm believing that you're about to have such sound, precise knowledge of what God's saying to you. You're not going to walk around anymore saying, I can't hear from God. He's about to speak to you very, very, very clearly. But I believe that he's about to remove some distractions out of your life that have kept you in the season that you're in. In fact, some of you have allowed a season in your life, in your previous season, in the previous decade, the last 10 years, some things have happened in your life, and you have literally felt like you can't get gravity. You can't get a leverage. You can't go up. You've lost some things in the last 10 years, and you can't get a footing to get it back. And I even sense that some of you have made some business choices. Some of you have made some decisions, and you thought it was going to go one way, and it didn't go that way. In fact, it went completely opposite of what you thought it would. And some of y'all have actually been mad about it, and you've been mad at yourself. You've been mad at the situation, and because of that, you have allowed yourself to stay in a season longer than you needed to. And in the next 7 days, God is going to allow you to have the courage to get up. In fact, I sense such blessings and favor on your life, and clarity and preciseness. I see preciseness coming in your life, in your family's life, in such a way that you're about to walk into another door. You're about to walk into another door. And as you walk into another door, you're not even going to realize for the last 10 years that you've been stuck. You're not going to realize that you've lost everything like Lot. You're not even going to focus on that. It's going to make such a precise move that God's going to do in your life that you're not even going to pay attention to the way it's going to happen. It's just going to be a flow. And that's how this next decade is going to be. That's how this next decade is going to be in your life. It's not going to be so much of, you're not going to have to advertise. You're not going to have to announce, I've arrived. You're not going to have to announce. You're walking into a season of extreme precise favor. You're walking into a season where such clarity is coming into your life that it's going to become just second nature to you. So the struggle that you've been in, the fight that you've been in, you're about to walk into a season of precise, so just like it just is supposed to be that way. And that's what God's about to do in your life, because when you wanted to give up, you got back up again. So that's why I believe this fast for the next 7 days is so important. You don't have to fast everything. You can do the Daniel fast. You can go Google that. I just believe that we need to lead this decade with, everybody's saying this, but with 2020 vision. And you can't have 2020 vision as long as you're holding on to yesteryears. As long as you're trying to right the wrongs, you got to let the wrongs be gone. And you got to get focused. And I don't believe that's going to happen until you kill your flesh. I don't believe that's going to happen until you put a focus. The enemy is going to send some distractions in your life like you've never seen before. You got to know it's a distraction, and you got to just swipe it right off of you. In this next month, you're about to see some precise moves. God is about to, your job is to kill your flesh. Your job is to be intentional. Your job is to don't lay in that bed when you want to lay in that bed, but get up and begin to do something towards your future. Get up and begin to go research how to start that podcast. Get up and begin to research how to start that company. Get up and find you a mentor. Find you somebody that's where you want to go. Find you somebody that can give you the tools, that can encourage you, can help you leave your past behind. In the next 30 days, these next 30 days are so crucial, because the way you leave this decade is the way you're going to walk in the next decade. And I don't know about you, but it really hit me really hard this past week when I realized this is the only life I get to live. This is the only life I get to live. Why are you living it miserable? Why are you living unhappy? Why are you just living? It's convenient. So I'm just going to stay here. So this is what you got to do. You got to begin in the next 30 days, begin to pray for answers, begin to pray for clarity, and begin to pray. I'm talking, y'all, you got to get so focused that you're going to have to tell some of your friends, I'm sorry, I can't hang with you. I can't go out with you. I can't hang with you. I'm on a commission. I am on a challenge from the Lord that I got to get myself right, because listen, even if what he's going to give you is what you've been praying for, if you ain't ready for it, you can't hold what God's about to do in your life. Your container can't hold any bigger than what you've got. Your container is this big, and God is saying, I want to do it this big. I need you to get a bigger container. So in the next 30 days, you got to begin to listen to some podcasts, listen to some preaching, listen to some motivational speaking, listen to some people that can get you to a place where you can dream bigger, see bigger. I'm talking the next 30 days, you've got to be very, very, very strategic. You got to be strategic. You got to be strategic. Everything's got to be timed and strategic. You can't just waste your time. You ain't got no time to waste in the next 30 days. You got to get to a place where God, listen, you got to begin to pray this prayer. On my app, the Real Talk Kim app, you just go to your Google Play Store. You can go to your Apple Store and go search for Real Talk Kim. And on my app, I have downloaded for you every single day for you to quote these affirmations, these declarations, these prayers over your family. Some of y'all are letting the devil whoop the hell out of you, and you got to get it back. Some of y'all need to tell your mind. You need to speak to your mind. Shut hell up. Shut what I'm living. Shut it. Shut all this chaos and this confusion, because chaos and confusion is not of God. I'm not walking into 2020 with chaos and confusion. I'm not walking into 2020 faking it. I'm not walking into 2020. I ain't doing it. I'm not walking into 2020 with fake people, and I ain't going to be fake, right? So you got to get to a place where anything, you got to tell God, anything. And I'm giving you these prayers on my app that every day, the app is Real Talk Kim Go. Yes. But if you just put Real Talk Kim in, it'll come up. And these apps, I'm even for the next 30 days, every day I'm sending you 2 words that God gives me every day for you. You got to be strategic. You got to be, this ain't the time for Netflix and chilling. This is a time of getting focused. This is a time of getting focused. God is going to reveal some snakes in your life. Some of y'all have you don't realize that what God's been doing in the last part of this year, and even this year, some of y'all have suffered some great loss. You've suffered some great loss. And in this season, you've been crying over the loss. You've been crying over the people that walked out of your life, and not everybody that left your life. I had some people leave my life this year, and not all of those people are bad. All of those people are amazing people. All those people, I love them. They're a part of my life. This was a great year as far as just people in my life. But there's some people that walked into your life that literally left, and you've cried about it. But what you didn't realize was that God had to cut down the grass. That's why y'all lost some stuff in this season. That's why you lost the job this season. That's why you lost some things in your life this year, because God had to cut the grass down so that you could see the snakes in the grass. You had too much stuff going on, too much chatter going on, and you were over here not realizing that you had people in your boat that were really drilling holes. And so in this next season, in this next 30 days, it's going to make sense. God's about to make sense of why things had to happen in your life. That heartbreak is about to heal. That anger from the loss is about to heal. In fact, some of you need to have a a goodbye service. You just need to, I'm letting go of this and I'm not going back. I'm not going to rehearse it. I'm not going to stalk you on Facebook. In fact, since I ain't got the courage to not stalk you on Facebook, I'm going to have to go block you from myself. I'm going to have to block you from myself. And because I can't stay off your page. And every time I go on your page, I want you back. And you ain't supposed to be in my life. So I've got to have this goodbye service and I've got to put some flowers on this grave. And then I got to get a U-Haul and remove myself and everything that was attached to this past season. I got to close the chapter on that. And so this is what's about to happen in the next 30 days of your life. God is about to do some great things. And I really feel that in this next 7 days of us fasting that you need to be praying specifics. Don't lay in bed and tell God to read your mind. In this next 7 days, you can do anything for 7 days. In this next 7 days, if you got a sweet problem, don't eat no sweets. If you got a soda problem, Dr. Pepper problem, Mountain Dew problem, don't drink no Mountain Dew. Don't drink no Dr. Pepper. Just fast something that is a controlling object in your life in order for you to go to a next level. See, like today, I haven't eaten anything all day long and all I have drank is water. And I feel like I even was struggling to get on live at 9 tonight, right? Because I'm out of breath. That's why I'm talking a little bit slower and I ain't on 100. Y'all probably enjoying that quite a bit, ain't you? But it's because I'm killing my flesh. When you kill your flesh, it allows you to have a need for God more than you've had before. And so that's why you do that. You even on Inner Circle a while ago, people were like, if I don't get rid of this headache, I'm going to go get me a soda. That's the point. You're going to have a headache for a day or two. But if you want to move the hand of God and you want God to get really close in your heart and you want to hear him clearly, you got to kill some things in your life. You got to kill some things in your life. You got to detox self. And so if you want something that you ain't never got, I just commission you to do something that you ain't done to get something that you ain't got, right? And so if you ain't started today, that's okay. You can start tomorrow. And listen, you may fall tomorrow. You know, I have a lady that's giving up cigarettes during this fast. I've got about 10 people giving up cigarettes in the Inner Circle, giving up cigarettes during this fast. And it's really hard when you've smoked cigarettes for 50 years. It's really hard when you've smoked cigarettes for 35 years. And one of the girls said, she went all day long, all the way until 5 o'clock. And then she said, I caved and I had a cigarette. And right when I took a puff of that cigarette, she said, I felt nauseated and I felt sick. And she said, now I'm beating myself up. Now here's what God don't do. Whenever you are when you are killing your flesh and you are putting a demand on the Holy Spirit and you are saying, I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here for 2020. Here's what you're not going to do. You got to understand that God is not like people. Okay. God says when you fall, get back up again, right? So this fast is not a fast to put extra condemnation on you. This fast is to take you higher. And so the enemy will use condemnation, right? Condemnation to tell you that you had a cigarette. You might as well go on and just write off this whole fast altogether. You might as well write off. You called them on the phone or you had a weak moment and you texted them and now you're like, oh, well, I might as well call and see if they want to come over and watch Notebook. And there you are, all the way back into the situation that God saved you from. You don't do that. That's not what you're going to do. You are going to, when you fall, you're going to get back up again. You're going to fall, you're going to get back up again. You might fall tomorrow, get back up again. You might listen. What I told this girl was, you've been smoking for 35 years. If you caved and had a puff of one cigarette, you need to be thankful for the 7 hours you made it this morning without that cigarette, right? So it's a change. This is where the enemy gets us so many times, is he makes us think that we are stuck in our past, and he makes us think that all of a sudden we go back to the old nature, right? We go back into the old nature. We go back out over there and we begin to be the old person that we've always been because it's our comfort zone. You know, I love this story, and I've talked about this before about the Pool of Bethesda and the man that was Pool of Bethesda. And whenever that man lay there for 38 years and God's over here saying, you've already got healing. That's what God's saying to y'all tonight. You've already got healing. It's already already yours. I paid the price for you to have your healing. But why don't we get our healing? Because our mind can't conceive, or we don't feel worthy to get our healing. But what I love about the man at the Pool of Bethesda, he was having this conversation, and every time the waters would stir, whoever got in the water first got healed, right? And so that's some of y'all thinking, man, I'm always the last one to the healing line. I'm always the last one to get my miracle. I'm the last one to get my job. I was the last one to get picked for the volleyball team. I was the last one. I mean, God has just got you feeling like a whole victim in your life. And so you're over here, just like the man at the Pool of Bethesda, saying, can you do it for me? Can you pick me up and put me in that water? And God's over here saying, you got to get up and do it. You want your healing? Get up and do it. Take up your mat. That's what he said. Take up your mat and walk. Now, what I love about that part is, here's what y'all got to do. While God is delivering you in these next 7 days, these next 30 days, the next 7 days is setting us up for complete healing and restoration going into 2020. But what God's going to do this entire month, and that's why y'all all need to have a journal, and every day you need to be writing in that journal, what are you letting go? Because the reason I believe in writing stuff down is because today you got all this courage on Live at 9 with Kim. You can do anything. You feel like you can be a Jetson and go through the roof because you feel like you've got so much peace and so much faith right now, right? But as soon as you get off here and then wake up in the morning, all of a sudden your flesh is going to be back in, right? And so you can look back in here and say, what am I working on today? What am I working on today? I'm not gossiping today. I'm not going to be angry today. I'm going to talk to people. I'm going to call people by their name. I'm going to look at their name tag, right? And so that's why you need to be intentional with even your journals and writing this whole month. I mean, y'all, it ain't going to be easy. But here's what the man at the Pool of Bethesda, he said, I love what God said. He said, take up your mat and walk. Why would he say, take up your mat and walk? He gonna get in the water with his mat? Why would he even say, take up your mat and walk? In fact, he said, get up. That's what some of y'all need to do. And that's what I've been telling you for the last few weeks on Live at 9. Get up. Get up. Your legs ain't gonna move themselves. You know, that heartbreak ain't gonna heal itself. You got to get up and walk away from the pain. You got to get up and walk away from the old memories. You got to get up. You got to be intentional about Googling scriptures that you can stand on every day, right? But here's what he said. He said, take up your mat and walk. Now, I love that because the reason he said, take up your mat, get up, take your mat with you. You know why he said, take your mat with him? He said, take your mat, take up your mat and walk. You know why? Because if he would have left that mat there, then the man at the Pool of Bethesda would have had, what you're in right now is just temporary inconvenience, right? But if he would have left that mat there when times got tough, he would have went back to that mat. But when he picked that mat up, basically what he's doing is, he's saying, there ain't nothing left here for me to come back to. And that's what y'all got to do. You got to get to a place where you pick up old past and you just let it go. You got to, I'm telling y'all, you're going to have a whole night where you just say, God, I'll never forget y'all. Whenever I finally started walking in forgiveness, I thought I'd forgiven. And I remember laying in bed one night and God it hit me. You got to forgive, Kim. And I'm like, I've already forgiven everybody. He said, you ain't forgiven nobody. He said, you just put a Band-Aid over it. That's why you wake up exhausted every day. That's why your money's funny. That's why you got health issues. That's why your blood pressure's up. Because you think you forgot, but you ain't forgot. You ain't forgiven. You still angry. You still looking on their Facebook to see if they fallen yet. You praying every day. You mad because you don't see them falling. You mad because you thinking they blessed over here. You're so busy looking at them like, you ain't healed. And I remember God clearly told me, he said, you got to forgive. And you know what I did that night, y'all? Raised a preacher's kid. That night, I literally got out a notebook and I began to write in it. And I said, God, reveal to me the hidden places on the inside of me. That's my mat. I want to pick this mat up and I don't ever want to come back here again. I don't ever want to think, I want to be so free from past hurts that I can't even remember what my ex looks like naked. Oh, Kurt, I started asking God, I don't want to go back there. When I meet people from my past, I don't want to be angry at them anymore. I don't want to ignore them in public. I don't want to run to another aisle at the grocery store when somebody walks in that hurt my feelings or betrayed me. I want to be so healed. I want to be so free that when I see people, I ain't got to run. There ain't one thing inside of me that's hidden. There's not one thing inside of me that I'm scared of. Oh my God, what if this happens? What if they find out? There ain't one thing, because all of my past is behind me. Because I picked up my mat and I walked. There ain't no animosity. There ain't no bitterness. I don't talk about people. I am not a gossip. I'm a secret holder. I hold secrets. I'm telling y'all something. When God heals you, you don't have to tell nobody. You don't have to announce your arrival. You don't have to announce I'm back. You don't have to tell people I've changed. There's just something about you that you are a carrier of change. You are a carrier of healing. You are a carrier of forgiveness. You are full of the Holy Ghost. You really are. You are full of holiness. When you walk into a room, you ain't even got to open your mouth to announce your arrival. Everybody can just sense something shifted when you walked into a room. And I did, y'all. I told God, I said, God, I'm not leaving this room tonight. I'm not leaving this room until you heal me. I'm sick of being depressed. I'm sick of singing on platforms and not even feeling you. I'm sick of thinking everybody's a fake Christian. I'm sick of this nasty black fruit. I ain't got no right fruit. I'm sick of my money being funny all the time. I'm sick of being scared to tithe. I'm sick of, you know what I'm saying? I'm sick of this, the way my heart feels. See, you can snatch your outside, but the inside's what matters. Because if you don't get that inside fixed, it don't matter how snatched you are on the outside. You're still ugly if your heart's ugly. You still walk around and you got to get to a place where you're not holding on to people that have already walked out on you. You're not over here trying to make people pay the cardinal sin when they ain't even thinking about you anymore, right? You're over here holding on to yesteryears while other people are living their life like it's golden, and you are mad. And you're mad about it. Here's what I say. Yeah, it broke my heart, but I'm over it. Don't y'all want to get to that place where you can say, yeah, you broke my heart. You can admit it. Yeah, it broke my heart, but I'm over it. Yep. That divorce broke my heart, but I'm over it. Yep. I'm telling you, there's some mountains in some of your life that is so insurmountable. It literally looks like your mountain is so insurmountable, you don't see a way out. And on books, on paper, there is no way out but God. I'm telling you something. God can do what man cannot do. God can do it. When you get your faith to a place where you ain't allowing, because the enemy's, he can't take you out, so he's trying to wear you out. And so you got to get to a place where you are so focused. You are so focused that you are believing God that literally you could walk through a mountain. When you start believing that you got that bounce back, and there ain't nothing swaying me. You can go into court and you can face that person that has given you hell. And you can walk in that court and look them right in the eyes and say, bless you. Bless you. Even though you have caused me so much hell for the last 50 years, 20 years. Bless you. When you can look in someone's eyes and be like, bless you, man. What? That's when the miracle will take place in your life. That's when the miracle will take place in your life, when you can literally look in somebody's eyes that broke your heart. I did. I sat in that room that night and I wrote down names and I said, God, just bring back to my remembrance names of people that I don't even remember that hurt me. Because what we do as humans is we don't allow our hurt to heal. We don't allow our heart to heal. We can't. There's so many times that you don't have time to grieve that divorce, or you just had to jump right back in and keep it together for your children, or you had to just, you know what I'm saying? And so some of you have gotten to that place where you've kept putting so many Band-Aids and suppressed it so much that the pain and the deprivation is normal for you. It's normal for you. And so you got to pray, God, I want this. I want this. I want freedom. I want it now. I don't want to go to bed tonight. I don't want to wake up in the morning the same way. I don't want to wake up in the morning. This is what I did. I laid in that bed that night and God started giving me names, y'all. Preachers, babysitters, teachers, people that wounded me, man. And I didn't even realize that it hurt me. And here I am walking around all this time broken and didn't even know it because I was suppressing it. Can you say bless you to the ex that murdered my son? You know, Candace, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you, I have seen people that literally, because you're not God, and I know forgiveness is the hardest thing on the planet to do when somebody has killed a loved one of yours, or somebody has molested your child, or somebody has cheated with your best friend, or somebody is just living to give you, Corella DeVille causing you hell. I'm telling you, it is hard to forgive when somebody is a complete, I mean, they just straight from the pit of hell. And it is hard to forgive that person. But here's the key, y'all. You not forgiving that person that killed your loved one isn't killing that person. It's blocking you of your blessings. You don't have to sit down and eat dinner with that person. You don't have to invite that person, that best friend that broke your heart. You don't have to go back to eat with them. You don't have to go back to Starbucks with them, but you got to forgive them. You got to get to a place where you realize that you have been all this time being angry at this person. You have been drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. That's what you've been doing. And you being angry ain't done nothing but kill your insides. How do you talk to God? All you got to do, y'all, we make talking to God so hard. Talking to God just like I'm talking to you right now. Talking to God is like talking to a friend, but you ain't got to worry about nobody telling your business. Talking to God is just laying in the bed. Father, I thank you tonight. I used to lay in bed and didn't have nothing to pray. I was so broken. I didn't have nothing to pray. You ever been so weary you ain't got nothing to pray? I've been there. That's where the enemy gets you, because the Bible says that life and death are in the power of your words. And so if you ain't opening your mouth, you ain't cultivating nothing. And so you got to open your mouth and decree and declare. That's why I put those prayers and those declarations on my app, because it is important that you are opening your mouth even when you don't want to, and you are beginning to cause hell problems. See, the enemy already knows how awesome you are. The enemy already knows about your purpose. But here's the deal. The enemy don't want you to find out about your purpose. The enemy doesn't want you to find out your destiny. The enemy don't want you to ever get a clue of your comeback story that's going to blow your mind. And so the enemy is hoping to God that in the next 30 days you don't get it together. The enemy is hoping to God that you stay a victim in your own story. The enemy is hoping to God that you stay miserable. The enemy is hoping to God that you don't let go of that ex that has already moved on and had babies with somebody else. The enemy is hoping to God that you never forgive and you walk around bitter and gossiping about everybody in the world because you are bitter, Betty, Petty, Patrick. The enemy is hoping that happens because you are ruining your life. Anything that comes out of your mouth is prophecy into your future. That's why sometimes y'all's money's funny, because you got a critical spirit, and a critical spirit brings forth poverty. What am I saying there? A critical spirit brings forth poverty because when you're critical, everything that comes out of your mouth is critical. Everything that comes out of your mouth is doom and gloom. Everything that comes out of your mouth is, my past is the best it'll ever be. Nothing in your past is greater than what God's going to do in your future the minute you get up and begin to live again. The minute you tell your heart to beat again is the minute God's going to bring somebody into your life that is going to rock your whole world. God is going to bring somebody in your life that's going to teach you how to love right. God is going to bring somebody in your life, and you're going to be thanking God on high that he never fixed that prayer that you've been praying for. You've been losing sleep over somebody that wasn't even worth a tear. You've been losing sleep. It is time to get up and begin to tell your heart it's time to beat again. I ain't staying here anymore. I ain't staying here anymore. I need you, Lord. I need you, Lord. I'm telling you something, until you do it, nobody can do it but you. Nobody. Your therapist can't make you do it. No, I do believe in therapists. I believe in therapists. I believe that a lot of therapists helping a lot of people. But here's the key. The therapist can't make you get up and live again. The therapist can't make you forgive your daddy for that molestation. The therapist can't make you not be bitter. It is a choice. Forgiveness is not a feeling. Forgiveness is a choice. It's a daily choice. It's a daily choice. And so if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, change it. Change it. You don't like what you're getting? Thank it. A therapist, you know what a therapist does? A therapist makes you get free. Like it makes you talk about something that you've been holding on to forever. And your life is a complete train wreck. Everything you touch goes to hell in a handbasket. You ain't got no friends. If you died, nobody would come to your funeral. You got walls so erected in your life to keep out hurt that you have erected these walls in your life, and you ain't got no friends now, and you're walking around proud of that. I ain't got no friends. It's because you don't know how to be a friend because you're so afraid of getting hurt again. And so a therapist can't make you forget that. You have to make a choice. You know what? You wasn't worth my peace. You got to get to a place where you begin to pray specifics. In this next 30 days, y'all do this fast with me. Fast coffee, fast something. Just fast Netflix. Fast something you love and you do it every day. Fast that. And get to a place in this next 7 days, talk to God. And just say, Lord, I thank you that you are awakening the dreamer on the inside of me. I thank you, Lord, that I'm getting unstuck. See, because you're not stuck. People always say, I'm stuck. But you ain't stuck. You're only stuck because you quit moving. That's the only reason you're stuck. And you know what's crazy about being stuck? And I hear this all the time. I feel like giving up. I'm like, what does that look like? Can somebody just tell me what it looks like to give up? What does that look like? I feel like giving up. What does that even look like? Because you got to have a job. You got to work, right? You got to put food on the table. Yes, good for you, Queen. Fast alcohol. Y'all, I'm going to tell you something. I used to be one of those that needed wine. I used to be one of those that, man, I had still so much brokenness in my life. Just a few years ago, I had so much brokenness in my life that I didn't realize that I was a type of personality that I can't just drink a glass of wine because I got stuff on the inside of me that the enemy knows that I am one of those people. I can't drink a glass of wine. I'm not going to rebuke you for drinking a glass of wine, but I can't drink a glass of wine. If I'm going to drink a glass of wine, I need the whole doggone bottle. All right. Because there's soul ties. There's generational curses on the inside of me. And I used to be that person, y'all. I would be one way in public and I'd be another way behind closed doors because I was hiding from stuff. I was coping with stuff. Instead of getting free, I was coping. And my life was complete hell. It is hard to live with a mask on. It is hard to fake something for so long. You can't speak holiness. You can't preach. You can't tell nobody else how to do it because you over here sneaking around doing it. And so I just believe that some of you just need to stop sneaking around. I had somebody else today on a live tell me, you know what? I've been secretly smoking and I wasn't going to tell nobody about this. I was just going to quit it. But I want to tell somebody because I think somebody else is doing it too. And I think we all need to, I think it would be really great for us all to just expose the secrets in our lives and just get free. Just get free. You ain't got to worry about nobody finding out. You ain't got to worry about people drunk texting. You ain't got to worry about what did I say last night? Who did I sleep with last night? You know what I'm saying? You got to get to a place where you just let God completely free you. Go on and expose everything on the inside of me. God, let me heal. You know, I think sometimes, y'all, that we don't get healed because we are comfortably broken. And we are so afraid that if we get healed, we are afraid of the healing process. You are afraid that if I get healed, what am I going to do at night at 6 through 9? What am I going to do at that time? I'm going to be so bored. What am I going to do? So you will sit and allow those crutches on your life. You will allow those crutches to live in your life because you are afraid of being bored. You don't want to get free from those cigarettes that are killing you because you like this in the car. It's your friend. Yeah, it's your friend. And cigarettes are one of the hardest things in the world to beat, but you can do it because we were created to do hard things. So anything in your life that is making you hide, anything in your life that is making you smell, anything in your life that is a crutch. I just pray that God gives you the strength to let it go. I pray that God gives you the strength to live authentically, loud and free. I ain't got no secrets. That's what you can do. It's going to be free, so good for you to say, I ain't got no secrets. I ain't got no secrets. You know that God's got your back. And I want to tell you something. When I finally got to a place where I realized other people might can do it, but I can't, I'm going all in. I'm jumping all in. When I made up my mind, y'all, I'm going to tell you something. Some of you have even walked through some things this year where God gave you exactly what you were praying for to show you it wasn't what you needed. And you found yourself in a complete spiral. And God's over here saying, I'm going to allow you to hit rock bottom because I need you to get it together, because where I want to take you in 2020, where I'm taking you in 2020, the old person can't go there. You can't go there. You're not ready for that yet. And so I need you to get to a place that when I begin to elevate you in the lights, when I begin to elevate you on the billboards, when I begin to elevate you to the nations, when I get ready to elevate you, I ain't got to worry about what you doing at night. You're over here doing all of these and living loud, but then at night you're over here doing something else in the secret. You got to let it go. You got to be free. I'm believing God that some of you just going to get free from that side piece too. I'm believing God that some of y'all about to let go of people that can't make up their minds about you. You're about to help them make up their mind. They can't make up your mind. You make up their mind for them. You are going to get to a place where you will not be leftovers. You won't be nobody's seconds, right? I'm telling you, I know, man, cigarettes are a constant companion and they don't talk back. But you know what, man? Why not just get free? You know what I'm saying? Just get free. Just get to a place where you're not ruled by fear. Get to a place where you're not afraid of the what ifs. Get rid of the anxiety. You know why you've got anxiety in your life? You've got anxiety thinking you're going to die every other day. Huh? You know why? Because you're over here afraid. And so you got your mind going in so many different directions thinking you're God, that you're thinking about things that you can't fix anyway. The enemy is playing games in your mind in such a way, he's establishing things in your mind that will never happen. And you're over here losing sleep about it. And you know what happens? The enemy gets you in your sleep, because if you don't sleep, you ain't no good tomorrow. You can't walk in your purpose. You can't hear clearly. You can't make wise decisions when you ain't got no sleep. And so the enemy's stealing your peace. Some of y'all need to take back your sleep. You need to take back your peace. You need to take back your joy. You need to take back your life. You need to take back your money. You need to take back your health. Some of y'all need to take it back. Did you know that God says that once you accept him into your heart? Did you know that? Did you know that? Yeah, fear is fake. Fear is false evidence appearing real. That's right. It ain't even real. But did you know that when you accept Jesus into your heart, that now he lives in here? You know what that means? You know what that means, y'all? That means that you got the same power that I got inside of me. Did you know that you carried the same anointing inside of you that I have inside of me? That you can lay hands on yourself. But see, you don't feel worthy enough. I had a friend today that goes to my church and she serves on my team. And she said, she's talking about how she was in this church for so long. She was raised in church. And she said, I never knew until I started coming to your church. I never knew that until I came to your church that I had the power to lay hands on myself. I always thought a pastor had to lay hands on me. And she said, I like for a pastor to lay hands on me every once in a while. But I realized that at 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm having a panic attack, I can lay hands on myself. At 3 o'clock in the morning when I don't know where my son is or my daughter is, I can go up in their room and I can war hell. I can take back what the enemy stole. I got the power on the inside of me because Jesus lives here, right? Jesus lives here. And so I got the power. And she said, now I can walk around. I lay hands on everything. She said, I'm laying hands on myself. See, you got the power. But here's what she said today. She said today she was at church and a lady was telling about a testimony of how God was doing such drastic things in her life since she came to Church of the Harvest Fayetteville. And she said that all of a sudden the lady was talking about something that was a really big thing. And she said, I knew right then that God was saying, pray for her. She said, but I thought it's too big for me. And so she asked somebody else to pray for her, somebody else that she looked at as in ministry. And she said, can you pray? And I told her, I stopped her right there. I said, next time you lay hands on her. I said, because you can lay hands on her. When you sat there and thought, I'm not smart enough, I'm not big enough, my power ain't there. You got the same power that I got on the inside of me. You got it. You got to cultivate it. You got to stir it up, man. You got to stir it up. And that's what we're doing the next 30 days. That's what we're doing the next 30 days. Deuteronomy 15:5 says, if only you carefully listen to the voice of the Lord your God. Although all throughout the day, there are always two voices competing for your attention. Always two voices competing for your attention. The voice of faith and the voice of defeat. There's a voice of faith and there's a voice of defeat. You'll hear a voice saying, you'll never rise any higher. You don't have what it takes. You can't pray for that person. What if they don't get well? What if you pray for them and they don't get out of that wheelchair? Your marriage ain't never going to be saved. There ain't no hope for you. You'll never, ever find love again. Nobody will ever love you and your 5 babies with 5 different baby daddy. Ain't nobody going to love you after 4 divorces. You ain't never going to have anything solid. You'll hear all of these voices. That right there is the voice of defeat. And that's the loudest one usually, right? Or you're going to also hear this voice. You are well able. You can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. You can do all things, Kimberly, through Christ who strengthens you. Sierra, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. I've come too far to give up now. My due season's coming and I shall reap a harvest. See, you begin to decide which voice you're going to hear. You're going to hear, you don't have what it takes. You've reached your limit. But if you listen carefully, you're also going to hear another voice saying you are well able. You can do all things through Christ. Your best days are still ahead. You are the one who gets to choose which voices that come into your life. You are the only one that can choose which voice you're going to listen to. You are the only one. The way you do it is by speaking it out of your own mouth. The moment you verbalize that thought, you give it the right to come to pass. You are the one that decides which voice that you're going to listen to. You're the one that's going to allow what you hear in your ear gates, guard your ear gates, guard your heart gate. The way you do it is by speaking it out of your own mouth. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. The moment you verbalize that thought, you give it the right to come to pass in your life. When you speak faith, you are in agreement with God. When you speak defeat, you're in agreement with God. When you speak defeat, you're in agreement with the enemy. God talk brings God on the scene. Enemy talk brings the enemy on the scene. Why don't you come into agreement with God today? Why don't you make up in your mind that the voice of God, the voice of faith, it may not look like it in the natural. You may not have a clue how in the world God's going to ship this thing around. But Jessica, he says in Romans 8:28 that he's working all things together for your good. He's working all things together for your good. That's what he's doing. That thing that you think is going to take you out is going to be your stepping stone to go higher. He's turning your pain into purpose. He's turning your scars into stars. He's turning your wounds into wisdom. There's purpose in your pain. And the very place that God is healing you from is the very place that God's going to use you the most. What you're going through is for somebody else. So don't get weary in well-doing, for in due season you shall reap if you faint not. How do you hear the voice of God when there's so much noise? You don't. You got to shut the noise. You already know what's right and wrong in your life. You already know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. You already do. And so what you got to do is begin to make the right decisions. Try it for 30 days. What you got to lose? Try it for 30 days. Try every time something negative comes in your mind, you cast it out. How do you hear the voice of God? When you pray, God, I need answers. I need to know what to do about this situation. Get quiet. You tired of being tired? Stop quitting. Stop staying stuck. Stop staying down. Man, nothing in my life ever came to me by laying in my bed crying. when I finally got up and said, not today, Satan, not tomorrow, not the next day. And I ain't going to let none of your little imps that you're using as in people get me down either. Yep, it broke my heart, but I'm healed. I'm over it. Listen, if you don't heal, you're going to walk through life bleeding on people that didn't even cut you. And when you walk around bleeding on people, that bleeding turns into pride. Turns into pride, and then when you get pride in your heart, it's hard to heal. So we're going to just really be very intentional the next 30 days. How bad do you want it? I'm so glad, Jessica. How bad do you want it? I'm struggling with this. I had a breakdown tonight, and instead of speaking life, I spoke death. That's okay. Get back up again. Y'all going to fall, man. You're going to fall. That's why in the Bible it says, if you fall, get up again. God ain't like people. How do I keep the high of right now listening to you into tomorrow? Be intentional. Be intentional. Wake up in the morning. Turn my podcast on. Real Talk Kim podcast. Turn on some preaching. I'll get you right back here. Watch the video again. Watch the replay. You know, I'm going to tell you something. You have to sometimes rewire yourself. And so if you're so used to stressing and worry and fear, then you've got to start putting some new stuff inside of you. You got to start putting some new stuff inside of you to drown out the bad. And so the minute you start getting the good in you, turn off that Beyonce. I like Beyonce, okay? That's fine. I'm not saying nothing bad about anybody, but I'm saying in this season, you need some teaching. You need some wisdom. You need some understanding, right? So you need to go after it. Go, what do you got to lose, man? Nobody can shift your life but you and God. Trauma from my past has kept me struggling for years, and now I'm trying to finally heal from it. And it's been suppressed. It's one day at a time. Sweet Jesus. Y'all, I'm the queen of popping into songs. How do I discern whether to fight or for my marriage or accept the divorce my husband filed? Here's what you got to do. You got to get to a place that you begin to tell God, talk to God, and tell God, God, if you see that this man is never going to change, if you see that they are, it's going to be this way in 20 years, if you see that they are going through with this divorce, let me know what I need to do. If it's over and I need to just suck it up, buttercup, then give my heart healing. Let me begin to heal from it. And you're going to watch over time, God starts giving you the courage to not stalk. You ain't going to be stalking them no more. Instead of checking his page 24 times a day, you're going to check it one, and then you ain't going to check it at all. Because what you're going to be doing is you're allowing yourself to heal by not thinking about them 24 times a day. You're thinking about them all day long. Every time that thought comes in your mind, y'all get a hobby. Good Lord. Y'all don't need a man or a woman to make you happy. That's the problem. Y'all keep putting these unfair expectations on people that ain't your God. So get your tail healed. Then God will bring somebody that's healed into your life. Huh? He'll bring somebody that's healed into your life. And then you won't have all this chaos and confusion and craziness and trying to live with the devil. Pretend you're happy. Living with Satan, got to pretend you're happy. I'm praying for you, Erica. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something. I pray for y'all every day. I get on here and read all these comments. I pray for all you replay people watching this right now. I'm telling you, I pray. But I'm going to tell you, when you get to a place where you're ready to be healed, God will heal you. Well, I love y'all so much. Father, I thank you for these incredible friends of mine that you brought into my world. And Lord, I thank you that this week, Lord, that you're giving us a desire that we can't shake. That we want to do this fast, that we want to do something that moves the hand of God, that we want to get clarity in our mind, that when you speak to us, we can hear it. That's what we're praying for, God. And so I thank you right now that while we sleep tonight, you're giving us sweet sleep. And Lord, we're going to wake up in the morning. The things that have been holding us back ain't going to hold us back no more. I love you, Keisha. I love you, Joy. I love you, Camille. I love all of you. I see you. Lord, just give us peace that surpasses. I love you, Fudge. Going to give you peace that surpasses all understanding, God. I thank you. I love you, Shelly. I thank you that it's going to be the best. I love you, Ruthie. It's going to be the best week of your life. You hear me? I love you, Rare Mella. I love you. I love you. I love you. Y'all listen to me. Some of y'all need to get in my mentorship program. I send you every single morning devotions that you can do on your lunch break, that you can do throughout the day. Because if you're going to fast, listen to me. If you're going to fast, you need to be praying too. And so it's more than just fasting. I love you, Effie. It's more than just, I love y'all. I see all y'all's love. I love you, Snow. I love you, Miss Sherry. Love you, Italian. But some of y'all need to get in my inner circle. Natalie, I love you. You really do. You need to get my inner circle and you need to get yourself rewired. And my inner circle will do that. So go to innercircle.realtalkkim.com and be a part of my world. Inner Circle, I'm not coming to you tonight since I was with you earlier about 2 hours ago. I'm going to go to bed because I am exhausted. I love y'all. Real Talk Kim here, realtalkkim.com. I do have cyber sales tomorrow on my website, realtalkkim.com. Be a part of our world and crush tomorrow. Crush tomorrow. Think differently. Wake up on the right side of bed and realize happiness is a choice and it's your choice. I love y'all. I love you, man. I sure do love y'all. I love you, Twitter and Periscope. I see all y'all loving on me. I love you right back. Yes, I do. Sweet dreams, sweet dreams, sweet dreams, sweet dreams. Facebook, I love you. I love you so very much. Y'all go crush it. Go crush it. Go crush it. All of you that are fasting with me, go on and go to bed so you ain't wanting to eat a midnight stack. I'm telling you, press in. It's going to be hard. The first 2 days, 3 days of fasting, you're going to have some headaches probably, because you are breaking your flesh. That's what you're doing. And moving the hand of God. And so I'm putting up Daniel Fast on here. We're giving you some recipes for your fast. You can juice. Some of y'all just wanting to juice. That's fine too. But just stay focused and don't let your flesh win. I love y'all. I'll talk to you tomorrow.